In this video, we're going to do a maintenance on my buddy Trey. He wears a poly base unit with white glue, and he's able to get 5 to 6 weeks almost every time on an application. You can tell this piece is a little bit lighter than his natural hair as he's had it for a while, and these do fade in the sun just like normal human hair. What we're doing here is we're spraying our adhesive remover on, gently removing this, trying to make this as comfortable as possible for our client. Once you have that piece off, we spray another solution on top to help break down the residue depending on what application method you used. Now this is where I'll kind of let this sit for a little bit and do its own work while letting my client's scalp breathe. A lot of guys like this time because it's been so long since they've had their piece off, so they enjoy this. So I just let it sit naturally. Then I'll go back in with my comb, scrape whatever residue I can because I don't want this going down the drain of my sink. I buy these really cheap combs. That way I just throw them away. I use them one time and throw them away. Once I get most of this off, I'll shampoo them and remove whatever adhesive is left over, getting their scalp nice and clean. As I'm doing this, I'm letting the system soak in a solvent, making the cleanup of that much easier. Now I'm just removing whatever hair is grown in since he was last in. Then we're going to alcohol it, put our skin protector on, and move on to the glue. Again, we're using really thin layers, allowing it to dry clear and tacky, and probably do 2 to 3 layers here to give him that ultimate hold. Because he uses a poly base, we can apply some glue to the front hairline, which will avoid any sort of mess or over application of the glue on his forehead around the hairline area. Do not do this with a lace system. You can see that dot on his forehead is where I marked his system prior to removing it, so I knew exactly where to go to put his system back on. Reapplication in real time in the shop probably takes me about 45 minutes with the haircut included. Everybody has their own system. I've detailed mine for you guys before, and if you have any questions, please let me know. After I get the system down, I like to smooth it out, make sure there's no wrinkles, no creases, make sure the edges are lined up, make sure the client's happy with the hairline and everything looks good, feels good. And then we'll move on to brushing out the system. Once I get the system on, I like to take my paddle brush, brush out the hair, smooth everything out, make sure there's no knots, no tangles, everything feels good, and then we can move on to blending in whatever needs to be blended and then styling the system. Brushing it helps avoid knotting and shedding. You should be able to brush through a system really easily. If you can't, it means they're not taking care of it at home. It means they're not brushing it out as much as they should be. Trey usually gets 6 to 8 months with any piece I give him. So you can tell he takes care of his systems and he knows what he's doing. Once we get that system on and brushed out, we're going to go around with our tinkle comb and kind of soften up the ends, make sure everything still blends in and still looks seamless. Once we do this, then I'll go back in, I'll do my fade below everything, and you can see the way he wears it once you comb this back. You'd never be able to tell. There's no detection of a system there or anything like that. So we're just softening that up. I'm going to go back in, do my fade, and you'll see the end result. There you guys have it. There's the final result. We did a nice tight fade, slick the top back. Hairline looks really good, blends really good on the sides. I love it.